Good morning everybody, it's Graham once again from Unearthed, and it seems like an age since I was sat here talking to you guys on this Detecting Talk channel, or the Unearthed YouTube channel I should say. We haven't done Detecting Talk for such a long time, so it gives me a good opportunity to catch up on some interesting information coming through in the metal detecting scene and some discussions around detectors, accessories and organised digs. Now then, first off, let's get to the real juicy part. Now, I don't know if a lot of you people have noticed over the last few weeks that there's been a bit of an attack on the hobby of metal detecting. I've seen a rise in social media news snippets on people using metal detectors at night on scheduled sites, historic monuments, castles, abbeys, you name it. Now, these are coming from various news channels, including the BBC and others. ITV did one, I think, on their social media sites on Facebook. The BBC did the same. There was a couple of MSN, I think there's one of them called. There's an American one even that jumped on. And of course, it's not just the news channels that are flagging this rise of anti-detecting talk up. What's happening is when they're posting it up, people are then posting it on other groups. So the whole thing is sort of magnifying and growing and spreading. So you'll find that archaeological groups on Facebook in particular are posting these on, and some of the vile comments against metal detectorists just beggars belief. It really does. From American archaeologists as well, or amateur archaeologists that are probably armchair archaeologists. They've probably never been out on a big dig, they've probably never even been in a field, but they're completely anti-detecting. Now, my response to a lot of this is, like you've seen on the BBC interview I did last week, there was one interview that was very positive on a local hoard that was found of Roman silver coins, and then there was a backlash against people using metal detectors at night, and I had to respond, which I thought I did quite well, without blowing my own trumpet. I had to defend the hobby, in so much as to say that you've got to remember, these are not detectorists. These people that are using metal detectors at night to plunder sites, as they call it, aren't detectorists. They're not detectorists like me and you. These are just common thieves that are using detectors at night for their ill-gotten gains. Again, they like to use that word. Now, people have got to start separating the two. It's like somebody picks up a knife, they're not necessarily classing themselves as a chef. Person picks up a cricket bat, he's not a cricketer. It's that sort of thing. People are picking up these detectors, they're not detectorists. They're just going out illegally at night and plundering these sites. Now, a lot of these sites have already been excavated by the archaeologist anyway, so it's just a time-wasting thing for them to do. But there is a small minority of people going out at night with these detectors and trying to find stuff, and it brings us all down. It ties us with the same brush. So my response to them is, listen, where you can on social media, and you see these horrific comments by the Anti Detecting Brigade, make sure you respond to them. Don't be frightened of them. They're not going to stick the fist through the computer at you, but just make sure that they know, without detectorists, the historians and the archaeologists, right, would be in the dark ages still. You think about the Hoxton Hoard. If it wasn't for detectorists, the Hoxton Hoard would never have been found in East Anglia. The Staffordshire Hoard would never have been discovered if it wasn't for detectorists. And look at all the work that's gone behind the scenes from the Staffordshire Hoard by historians, archaeologists, etc, etc. Right? If it wasn't for detectorists, these things would never have come to light. Look at the wonderful coin hoards that have come to light over the years by detectorists that would have otherwise just been left rotting in the ground or damaged by agricultural machinery. The Midland Ring, the Midland Jewel. The list goes on and on and on, and it's all through the sterling work of the detectorists. Yet still, people have a go at us for doing what we do. Now, there's an argument that's going out there raging about, well, we're disturbing layers of archaeology. The layers of archaeology have gone. The agricultural side of it has just completely wiped out any archaeological remains and stratifications and layers. Gone completely. We detect on arable land. Most of the coins are in the first 3 or 5 inches. It's all been damaged. We're saving them. We're saving them from destruction. We never dig coins up over 10 inches anyway, or very few of us do. Even on pasture. So I can say in 40 years of me detecting, I've never damaged once an archaeological lair. But they keep using this ill-informed argument against us detectorists. Now, I think a lot of this comes from the classroom. I think people go on these archaeological courses to become an archaeologist. Or they've got aspirations of being an archaeologist, and the tutor up there who's probably been stood there for the best part since the 1960s is completely anti-detecting, and he passes that negativity over to the class. So they all pass the course, or they pass stage 1, or part 1, or level 1, or level 2, with it embedded in their brains that everything should be anti-detecting. Absolutely crazy. I tell you now, you try to take my hobby away, there'll be hell to pay. That's to you archaeologists. You try to take my hobby away from me, that I've been doing for 40 years, which improves my health and well-being, and my all demeanour in life, the health. I've been in some pretty dark places over the years, and it's detecting that's helped me get out of them. You take it away at your peril. You try damaging this hobby. You take a person's pastime away, you take his spirit away. Then we just work. We eat, we sleep, we work, we eat, we sleep. People have got to have pastimes and hobbies. Detecting's the most wonderful hobby on the planet. Hobbies and pastimes should be allowed to flourish. Right? Stay within the law. We all do it. We all do the right thing. Just a small minority of idiots that go out at night with the detectors, ruining it for us all. But you try to take my hobby away at your peril. You'll see a fight that you've never seen before, and I mean that. So, where you can see this happening, respond to them. Detecting is a wonderful, wonderful hobby, and I'll give you some evidence of just how wonderful it is. There's a gentleman out there called Steve Lancaster. Now, Steve Lancaster's a very astute guy, detectorist, clever man. He compiled last week, or earlier this week, a pie chart. I've got it in front of me. Now, this pie chart is objects in the Portable Antiquities database from January 1998 to March 2020. So, this pie chart that I'm going to show you in a minute, right, 1.33% of the objects in that database have been found by archaeologists, or archaeology. Other, there might be eyes only finds, I guess, field walking, discoveries where people are not using detectors, they're probably finding them, or maybe excavations or building work or whatever it could be. 16.41%, 16.41%, 16.14%. Metal detecting, however, 82.26%. There is the sterling work of the detectorists, folks. I'm going to hide my face for you for a little bit. Can you see that? Digest it as you will. Now, I can post this pie chart up on the community section on this channel. So keep an eye out. I'll post this up for you to see. Because what you can do, you can print it out, or you can share it wherever you wish. But the evidence is there of the sterling work of the detectorists. Look at that. What more can I say? It's there. So when these idiots, and I call them idiots, or ill-informed fools, start having a go at detecting and detectorists and the work that we do, the sterling work that we do, they forget the countless hours, the thousands of hours that we've spent walking up and down ploughed fields just in the hope of rescuing that one bronze Roman coin, or that brooch fragment, or a medieval buckle, or a bloody Georgian penny, for God's sake. Could be anything. But without us doing this work, you lot would never have seen it. Never have seen it come to light. Well, there you go. There's the evidence. I'll put it on the community section. It'll be just like that. On the community section as the image. You'll better see it. You better download it, or paste and copy it, or whatever you do, or right click on it and save it to your documents. But please use it. Use it on your detecting groups. People have got to see that. And well done to Steve, because I think, you think about it, right, you know, he's stepped outside the box and thought, right, I'm going to do this. You know, he's obviously a clever gentleman to compile that within such a short period of time. But this was in response to all these ill-informed idiots on social media slagging the detectorist stuff. I had a right argument with an American so-called archaeologist. What's he got to do with it? What's he got to do with detecting in this country? Absolutely nothing. Goodbye. Don't ever come into this country. You won't be welcome with your idiotic comments, sir. And you just love to get hold of them, wouldn't you? And just give them a bit of a shake without sounding violent. Just give them a little bit of a shake, but give them a little bit of a head wobble. Let them come out with you on the fields detecting. The life of the detectorist. Starts work at 5 o'clock in the morning like I do. 5 in the morning on my travels. Get back at 10 at night, absolutely exhausted. But you know what? Wouldn't change it for the world. Just to show and save the handful of coins or broken artifacts. We do it because we love it. We love history. We love history just as much as the archaeologists and the historians do. But oh, hang on a minute. We've got a detector in our hands. We're not allowed to love history. Ooh, no. It boils my blood. As you can see, absolutely boils my blood. You attack people's hobbies and pastimes, you'll see, and I mean this, you'll see the biggest revolt you've ever seen. Seriously. You attack our pastimes and our hobbies at your peril. Because there's people that watch this channel that are against detecting. I'm absolutely convinced of it. It's all these nutters that give the thumbs down. Winds me the hell up, it does, honestly. It really gets to me. You can't slag off a hobby where it brings so much enrichment to people's lives and also in a historical content. If it wasn't for the detectorist, you'd have nothing, you'd have very little to show for it. Get behind the detectorists rather than against us. Now I know because of the comments of these archaeological people, I know exactly where we stand. Know exactly where we stand, and I will not be held back when I come into the public domain and I speak to these individuals, because it's going to happen, and I'll be absolutely telling them, without the work of the detectorists, you've got to be in the dark ages. And I'll come across them this year, next year, whenever it'll be. You can guarantee it, at some point I'll be coming across these people that are against detecting, and I'll be putting the point over to them big time. Right, so that's me rant over. That was a rant. That was a rant. I'm annoyed about it. Keep an eye out for that pie chart, folks. Right, on to the next bit of information. Right, so you can see now 2020, the emergence of, let's change the subject a little bit to a little bit more positive news or information. You can see 2020 is here now. We're in March. You can see now the new machines that are coming out, the new detectors, you know, in the beginners sort of introductory bracket. But to be fair, the new machines that are coming out that are falling into that bracket price-wise are anything but introductory beginners machines, because they just perform that good. They're beating things mid-priced, high-priced. So you look at the Simplex, for example, what a terrific machine that's turned out to be. It's got the features of high-end machines. It ticks every single box under the sun. You know, it's just for the price, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. It's absolutely phenomenal machine. And then of course we've got the range of Vanquish machines from my lab that have hit the shelves in dribs and drabs, but that's pretty much finished now. From next week onwards we'll have pretty much them in stock all the time. What a terrific platform. The multi-IQ platform on the MyLab Vanquish is absolutely awesome. That machine, you can take it out of the box, you can build it, it's got a collapsible stem, and you can use it anywhere. It's not like some of the single frequency machines that we've had to endure over the years. Pretty much run-of-the-mill machines that you know, and I know exactly which ones I'm talking about, that people are pushed down the route to get, or the road to get one of them because everybody buys one and it's the cheapest introductory machine out there. You can't use them on the wet sand, you can't use them on the beaches. Okay, on the fields, a little bit slow recovery speed, but they do the job. But you can't use them everywhere. That's changed. Look at the Vanquish. Multi-IQ platform, true multi-frequency metal detector for as little as 229 quid. You can use it anywhere. It performs really well on the wet sand. Really stable on the wet sand and on the dry sand and on the fields and everything else. So we've reached probably a golden age of detectors coming out onto the market where people no longer have to fight with the thinking, well, which one do I get? I've known people buy two machines, one for land, one for beach. Don't have to do it anymore. These machines work so well on the wet sand. No reason why you can't be competing with the guys down on the wet sand of the beach for the gold rings and the silver rings. There it is. Brilliant machines. So watch out for these. We sell a lot of them. We're going to sell a lot of these machines. And there's going to be, you know, the pro packs, the premium packs, the adventure packs. Just look out for them. Brilliant, brilliant metal detectors. What else am I going to say? We've got an organised dig coming up. That's full, folks. 29th of March. It's filled up so quick off our group. It's unreal. Put it up 24 hours. It was full. My lab are going to sponsor that particular dig, which is nice of them to do. But the people that are probably raising an eyebrow to it, because remember, I don't do them for customers anymore. I handpick the people to come on our digs for obvious reasons. You know, fear not, there's going to be plenty more digs this year. What we're going to be doing, organised digs. And just remember, folks, for the people that don't know, we don't make a single penny off our organised digs. We are pretty much unlike everybody else that runs rallies and organised digs. We do not make a penny. I cover my fuel costs. The rest of it goes to the landowner. Thank you. So I like to say that because a lot of people are probably thinking, oh, he's making a fair few quid out of this dig. He's got 50 people on it or whatever it is. We don't make a penny. Right, so moving on very quickly. There's some new products coming out on the Unearthed website. Folks, for the first time, we're going to be stocking things like the new Nocta pulse dive probes. Now, these are brilliant, brilliant. What a tool that is. I wish I had one with me now, actually. They're coming to the warehouse this afternoon, so I've not had a chance to hold back and show one, but I may do it on the next video. But, they're waterproof to 200 feet. 200. Most probes are waterproof to 10. So these things are proper diving probe, but also they work as a pretty damn good pulse induction pinpoint probe as well. Loads of accessories. Quite a bit cheaper than the Garrett's and some of the other makes as well, I have to say. So watch out for them on the Unearthed website, folks, and we'll probably put some information on this YouTube channel. Now, if you just keep an eye out this weekend, at some point I'll put a film on because I'm away detecting this weekend. The weather is, I think the last 4 weekends on the trot, we've had a storm, so it stopped us going anywhere near the waterlogged, swamped fields. However, there's a change in the weather this weekend. Tomorrow, at least tomorrow, is going to be pretty dry. Sunday has a little bit of wet weather coming in where we detect, but hopefully we'll get out either Saturday or Sunday, and I'll do a feature-length film using the Equinox again. I'm going to stick with the Equinox for the full year, the 800, and see how we get on. I got 2 hammered with it last time, some Roman bits, a Viking buckle, and a Celtic brooch. So I was pretty damn pleased with the results, even though I have to fine-tune that machine to my own requirements. I'm still not 100% happy with some of its settings that I put into it. I was pretty much out, to be fair, on iron contaminated sites, but we can put that to rest this weekend, hopefully. So keep an eye out for the next Unearthed film that'll be coming out either Sunday or Monday. And I have to say thanks for listening and putting up with my rant. You know the score, folks. Yous are all honest detectorists that watch this channel, like my good self. Fight the good fight. Don't let these people think they've got one over on you because of academics. Right? We've got much more cultural, what's the word I'm looking for? We're a bit more worldly than these people because we're out in the field all the time doing the business. They don't like it. Keep an eye out for them. Right, folks. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon. Bye for now.